When I needed to start looking for a job, I had to figure out what it is that I could do. If you asked me what I was good at, the only thing I could come up with is fashion design because that's all I've ever done. That was my career. That was it. I didn't know how to do anything else. Hi, I'm Lois. I'm 65 and I'm still figuring it out. So if you're new to this channel, welcome. And if you're returning, one of my returning subscribers, welcome back. So today I'm going to help you figure out the skills that you didn't know that you had. So getting back to the story, when I needed to find a job because I needed to get back to work, because I had no money and I'm 65 and I have to have a life. I have to live. I have to pay my bills. The only thing that I knew how to do was fashion design. I didn't know anything else. I mean, I knew I liked to help people. I went through what I thought I was good at, creative, you know, artsy, but it all still had to do with just fashion. Like I could tell people what they look good in. Maybe I could be a personal stylist, but then dealing with people. I'm kind of an introvert. I don't know if I wanted to do that. But I read somewhere that if you want to find out what you're good at, don't look within yourself because what you think you're good at, you're probably good at, but it's not what you are really good at. That makes sense. The key is to ask somebody close to you. Ask your best friend, ask a close relative, ask somebody who knows you for a long time what they think you're good at. And you'll be very surprised by the answers. So for me, I asked two people that I was very close to. I asked my best friend, who I've known since we were in our 20s. And I said, when you look at me, what am I good at? What do you think I'm really good at? And she didn't even hesitate. She's like, you could figure out how to do anything. If there's a faster, better, quicker way to do something, you could do it. And I realized that she was right, but I thought, doesn't everybody work that way? If there's a problem, if there's an easy way to fix a problem, I could figure it out. I'm good at figuring out how to do something better, faster, quicker, which really translates into problem solving. I'm good at problem solving. So that was one thing. And the other person I asked is somebody that I also knew back from my 20s when I worked in the garment center, and we were very good friends. And then we lost touch, and then we reconnected. While I was taking care of my mom. If you know my backstory, I was caregiver for my mom, which was the reason I was out of the workforce. And anyway, so we reconnected. She came over to visit me and my mom, and I hadn't seen her in a really long time. We really hadn't caught up. We haven't anything. We haven't talked. But she was in town, and so she came to visit, and she drove me to the train station because I used to commute to see my mom every day. So we get in the car, and I'm like, "What's the matter? You seem really upset." And she's just started telling me her problems, and I'm like, she's like, "Oh, I don't, you know." I said, "No, no, tell me. How could I help? How could I help? Tell me what I could do." And so we went on to, fast forward. When I asked her what I was good at, she said, "You haven't seen me or talked to me in years, and your first concern, even though you're taking care of your mom, was to help me fix my problem." She's like, "That's your superpower. You care about other people and you like to help people." So there you go. That was my skill or my superpower. You shouldn't really say superpower, but I do like to help people. And I realized that even when I was little, like in elementary school, I used to think of myself like, "Oh, I'm Lucy in the Charlie Brown cartoons with the sign up help for 5 cents," because people always came to me with their problems. And I liked it. I like to help people. Now, fast forward now, that really does translate into teaching. I'm helping people learn skills, creative skills mostly. And I love it. But I didn't even think of that was something that I had. I didn't, sometimes it takes a person that's close to us to point out what we're good at. So, what you need to do, my assignment for you people, if who you're trying to still figure it out and figure out how you're going to get a job or what you're going to do, is ask somebody close to you what you're good at. Now, you might know a lot of the things you're good at. Now, like I said, I'm an introvert. So, dealing with kids for some reason is not a problem, but dealing with like a lot of people when I was looking for jobs There's a lot of work from home jobs where you can do phone customer service. No, no, not for me. Not for me. But if you're a person who likes to talk on the phone and likes to talk to people, that might be the perfect job for you. So maybe somebody that's close to you say, "Oh, you're just so good with people, and you like to talk to a lot of people." Maybe something like that is good. But anyway, the point is like you have to try to figure out who you are because we're still all figuring it out, right? So here is the lesson for today. Sometimes we're too close to ourselves to see our greatest strengths. So ask the other people around you, people in your life, what your strengths are. It could be your friend from elementary school, if you're still in touch. It could be your neighbor. It could be a sibling. It could be a parent. It could be a child. So whoever is close to you and knows you almost as good as you know yourself, that's the person to ask. And so write those things down and see how you could translate that into getting a job. Now, I don't know what kind of job you're looking for. If you're looking for an at-home type of job, you're still figuring it out. If you're like me, I live in a city. I don't have a car. I use public transportation. So I need a job that I could get around public transportation. If you live in the country or the suburbs or a rural area where you need a car to get around, then maybe you want to do some kind of DoorDash kind of thing. I mean, I don't know. You have to see what it is that you like to do and try to find something that you could do with the strengths that you have. And I know it doesn't sound easy, but you could do it. You could do it. You definitely have some kind of skill. If you were an accountant, so maybe you're very good with numbers and you could do accounting consulting. I don't know. I'm just thinking out loud right now. So this isn't really about finding a job. This is really about seeing yourself differently. We all have a preconceived notion of who we are and what we're good at and what our strengths and our weaknesses are. I keep telling people I'm an introvert, and they keep laughing at me and saying, "What are you talking about? You're great with people." Yes, I'm great with people in small groups. Put me in front of an auditorium on a stage, I'd be frozen, death frozen. But as I'm getting older and a little bit more comfortable with the teaching, yes, I'm getting more comfortable speaking to bigger groups of people. So, but you have to find out who you are and what your strengths are. And that's really how you're going to train. Once you're comfortable with what you're good at and what you know how to do, then you could try to figure it out. Hopefully, maybe I could help you figure out how to translate that into getting work, doing consulting, however you want to do it, if you're still figuring it out. I mean, I'm still, like I said, I'm doing all this teaching, but it's not enough. I've got to do more. I'm working on some online projects and some print on demand things that I could talk about in a future video if you guys are interested in learning about how to do print on demand and selling online. Please, put that in the comments and I will film a video about all the sites I sell on and is it worth it, the process if you don't know, those kind of things. I hope everyone is doing great and having a wonderful summer. But if you're still figuring it out like me, please join me on this journey and let's help each other. Let's give suggestions. Put them in the comments. Tell me what you want to hear. Tell me what you want to see. Tell me what you want to talk about. Let me know if I could help you. I want everybody to help everybody. I want to help you. I want you to help find your talents, your strengths, your weaknesses, because you do have to know your weaknesses in addition to your strengths, because you have to know what you want to do and certainly what you don't want to do. I'm Lois. I'm 65. I'm still figuring it out. So thanks for watching. I'll see you again next week. Bye.